yesterday got an award for technology innovation, and so we had this slot today. So we decided we will talk about what are the technologies that we have brought to the country and the reason why we got the award. So I'll start by the first technology. This was about a decade ago, right when we started. It was CATI, computer-aided telephonic interviewing. It was very common in North America and Europe to do interviews via CATI, but in India the telephone density was very low, and people actually scoffed at us when we said that we are launching a CATI center in India, and a lot of the traditional research agencies, the incumbent agencies, they really thought CATI won't work in India. But we had the courage, we had the conviction to start CATI, and we launched it, got a lot of local clients accepting to it, at least for B2B studies, got a lot of interest from international agencies who wanted to do data collection in India using CATI, and that became a success. The history of focus groups, I don't know if you all know, but there's this guy called Saul Venziv, whom I met about the time we were starting. And during times of war, when companies wanted to do market research, the men were not there, and the women were the only respondents available. And it was difficult for fieldwork people, interviewers, to go to women's houses when they were alone. So that is how the concept of focus groups actually came into being, where they would call a group of 5-6 women in a house, and a lady would ask them questions, and the research team would sit behind a curtain and actually watch the group. Now, this was a very long, old story, but in India, till we started, it was still the same thing. Focus groups were being held in houses, and observers would watch it behind curtains. The best people would do was book a 3-star hotel, have a group happening, and use CCTV, closed circuit TV cameras to watch the groups. What we did was we actually established qualitative facilities, which, if you may have seen in most Hollywood movies, there's a one-way mirror where you can see from one side and you can't see from the other side. That's exactly what a focus group room is. And we actually had to be the first ones to create focus group rooms in India about that time. And we got video streaming into India. We used to have clients from US come and say, India is a hub of technology and still you don't have video streaming. Basically what video streaming means is that you're having a group happening in Chennai, and your client is Microsoft, and they're in Seattle. They want to watch it live, interact with the respondents live. We stream it live to them. So there are a couple of global players. Focus Vision is one of them, and Active Video Group, AVG, is another one. We partnered with both of them, and we got a lot of business from that, because a lot of clients would save money on traveling, would save the actual time, travel time, and be able to watch groups anywhere in the world they were. Usability labs, this was again a concept which was not present in India. Nobody had usability labs. Usability is basically human to machine interface. So all the mobile phone devices, your surgical instruments, whenever somebody launches, they test it with actual respondents and see how the features are, how it works in the real practical environment. And again, this also requires a technical setup which we ourselves built across India. CAPI is computer-aided personal interviewing. This was about the time when everybody wanted, instead of pen and paper interviewing, tablets to be used or laptops to be used, and we were the first to launch it about half a decade ago, and we introduced low-cost tablets at that time. Of course, now they have gone even lower. We have $30 disposable tablets. So even if there's a lot of misconception in India that it's not even a misconception, it's a fact that fieldwork people cannot be trusted. A lot of times students do it, which is fine, they can be trusted, at least with the devices. But in general, people will run away with your laptop. And so that's why getting the cost down to as low as $30 makes us a disposable unit. So that's what we did. We actually got units as low as $30, and now they are disposable. So even if the fieldwork guy runs away with it or breaks it, it doesn't really matter to us. Eye tracking. Eye tracking, we partnered with Toby, and we're the first in the country to do that. What eye tracking basically means is it measures the visual attention for any stimuli. So it could be static or dynamic. It could be a website, it could be an outdoor hoarding, it could be a TV serial, it could be a trailer of a movie. It tells you exactly what are the areas of interest your respondent is going for, how long a person is looking at something, how many times he's going. Now this is just quantitative, it just tells you numbers of the stimuli, but we also did with it emotional measurement. We've tied up with a European company called iMotion, and we were actually able to measure how effective the ad was. So one is the cognitive part, the other is the affective part. So we got both of that in the measurement. SMS research, this is way back 6 years ago. I know Siamak just spoke a lot about mobile, but we did this long back ago using SMS. We tied up with a Israeli company, Mobile Feedback, and we launched that in India. And of course later on, by this time, what we realized was there were a lot of other countries in Asia which had the same issues. So there were no facilities in Indonesia, there were hardly any facilities in Vietnam, there were hardly any facilities in Thailand. So from being a pure Indian company, we became the first Indian market research firm to become a multinational. In fact, today the revenues we make out of India are much more than what we make from India. So it's truly the only example of an Indian market research firm which has become a multinational. There are other examples in other industries, but in market research we are the first example. Online panels, again, this got very lot of bad press last year because of Speak Asia and all that, but we have been doing this from almost 4.5 years, where we have built panels where the respondent doesn't have to pay us, but we pay the respondent for every incentive, for every interview they complete. Now these respondents could be normal consumers, Gen Pop, general population, or they could be doctors, physicians. Moment feedback from every respondent on any stimuli. Very different from eye tracker, but these are based on dials, and it's very statistically, it's got a very strong back end, and it's used again for movie promos, for trailers. In fact, right now we are doing a project for Set Max for one of the serials, which is going to be launched next week, and we're using perception analyzer for that. Portable video streaming, Siamak just spoke about how he took the mobile and could be doing it from different places. Video streaming was first done out of facilities, but then we have launched portable sets now. That means I can do it anywhere, from anywhere to anywhere. So I don't need to have a facility, one mirror to do the focus groups. I can just be anywhere in India and I'll be able to video stream the groups live. Ethno streaming. Siamak just spoke a lot about ethnographies and about the advantages of just leaving a camera and letting the camera capture information, and the problems that clients have. They want to attend, but they can't attend, so they don't attend in the end. What ethno streaming does is the same thing. It provides you direct feed from wherever you are, whatever you are. In fact, the term we coined was from bathrooms to boardrooms. So you would want to understand how Indian women wash their clothes, what is the soaking process, but you are maybe the CEO of a Japanese company who wants to watch it, and you have clients from Japan, from PNG, where there are groups of 8 to 9 clients, and obviously so many of them will not fit in an Indian household or even an Indonesian household. So what ethno streaming does is gives you the advantage of being able to get a lot of people involved in observing the entire process. That's where bathrooms to boardrooms was a term that we coined for it. Portable eye tracking. Now we have launched a product with a company called Eye Track Shop (ETS), wherein we don't need to have a eye tracker with us. Just everybody has a webcam on their laptops nowadays, so we just show them the ads, and from the webcam we can then be able to do facial recognition and also get their visual attention. So again, both the cognitive and the affective components are being able to capture by that. Now this is a very new concept. I think Tom will be speaking a lot about it later in the evening. MROCs. This is market research online communities. It's to put it in a very simple way, it's like Facebook for market research. So we have tied up with a company called Vision Critical, which is one of the leaders. Primarily, they do quantitative studies. I think Tom is going to talk about his MROC later, so you'll get a good idea about what MROC means. But this is also something which we have already done in India. Social media measurement. Now we all know how Facebook and Twitter are mediums that brands are trying to understand and trying to engage with. We have tied up with a North American company. The name I cannot reveal today because we are still signing the contracts. But it's not based on keyword based, which is most of the other platforms like Radiant 6, etc. are keyword based. In this, it's not keyword based. So it's much more advanced way of gathering information about the brands. Coming soon, the next technologies that we are about to launch are a lot of gaps in India where currencies are missing. So there's radio for which there's no measurement. There's the box office. There's the TV industry in which there are gaps. There's the internet for which there are a lot of currencies lacking. So in the next 6 months to 1 year, I think these are the partnerships we are going to get and continue with the technology story and continue with our growth. Thank you very much.